This is Emma Tattenbaum-Fine from Political Subversities, and you're listening to Nursery, a podcast from Ohio's creative voice.
The nursery and all of the trees cross over the dark, and some old parking lots hold my whimpering thoughts, and I'm on the next train. You and me, can't you see what this means? In the light of a torch, realize nothing is forced, nothing is forced.
Hi everybody, welcome to Nursery, the podcast from Ohio's creative voice. We're sponsored by the Orange Avocado, raw, vegan, gluten-free desserts. Check them out on Facebook.com. They're based in Youngstown, Ohio. We're also sponsored by the Speaking of Music show. It's a show where they talk about the music of yesterday, today. Find them, the Speaking of Music show, on YouTube. And make sure, if you like us, to go to Bullskit.com and check out all our comedy skits, or even go download some music off of thirdclass.net. My name's Lee Boyle.
Pegasus O'Malley, a.k.a. Craig Bait.
And we're here today to do a commentary on a classic episode of one of our favorite shows, Seinfeld. We're going to do episode 6 of season 9 called The Merv Griffin Show. Before we start, where's this rank for you as far as your favorites?
This episode?
Yes.
Well, preface it by saying Seinfeld is the greatest show ever created, so by default, it's my favorite show. And
It's awesome.
this has always been my go-to episode or favorite episode, actually, of all of them. I don't know if it probably still is, but it's definitely in my top. It's without a doubt in like my top 3.
Yeah, and would you agree that if we hadn't watched it so many times isolated
sure.
it would have been your number one?
Yeah, just like
me too.
anything else that we've enjoyed over the course of our
Right.
youth and now.
It's hard to
quote-unquote
moderate.
adulthood.
It's hard
It's hard
to keep it moderate, rather.
to not wear it out and eventually get sick of it, but that's just what we do.
That is. I mean, that's what a lot of people do. But so listeners, if you want to follow along, I know that's like a slim chance that you would, but if you do, if you're a Seinfeld fan who found a Seinfeld tag and stumbled upon this episode and we haven't met you or we don't know you through Ohio avenues, pause the episode and get ready, get Hulu on or get your DVD on. I would recommend the DVD because I'm going to have to pause this podcast to edit out the commercial time so that it syncs
If you can
up.
edit it out, doesn't really.
Well, it does matter because if they watch the Hulu one, then their commercials will pop up while we're skipping ahead.
Of course, yeah. I don't.
It sucks, but
I'm an idiot.
no. But it doesn't matter that much if you're right in sync with us. It's more just commentary on the idea. But get ready to follow along, guys. If you got your Seinfeld episode 6 of season 9, The Merv Griffin Show, ready.
And I wanted to preface this by saying, if you're one of our listeners, you might have listened to some previous watches of some show called Friends or some movie called UHF. We're getting down to business now. This is about the gold standard of American television, so sit back, relax, and enjoy Seinfeld.
This is the real deal, people. All right, get ready to press play in 3, 2, 1, go. Jerry and Kramer are walking. Come on, we're like Cain and Abel, Kramer says. So
Just walking down a random New York street.
he says that Cain and Abel did drywall together for some reason. These street conversations on Seinfeld are fun because they're maybe what some viewers like about Woody Allen films or, say, Tarantino films, right? Where these fun little dumb ideas that don't really count get to be played
Make no
out.
difference to the rest of the episode.
It's the place where all their scraps get to get played out. At least that's how I like to envision it.
And actually, what I always do in those conversations, I'm usually watching the reaction of the other person that's being spoken to, because facial expressions are always awesome. They're
good
in the moment and moving and reacting in exaggerated ways.
Right.
It's always fun.
So they see the dumpster right now, and the Merv Griffin set's in there, and George has the idea to maybe get it out of there.
Kramer,
sorry. Jeez. My bad. So
Jerry is, of course, disinterested in what
right.
Kramer is even talking about. Kramer jumped into the dumpster now.
The reactionary acting in this show, like you mentioned, is great. And I think part of the reason that it's good is because, and not like you see this in other sitcoms, but there's not very many moments, and I don't mean to diss Friends to hell and back, but Friends had a lot of editing moments where people weren't doing anything. And people were not on their marks in the re-edit when somebody did a take 3 times.
Right.
George just hit a pigeon, by the way. This is the most boring storyline of all of them.
Yeah, so George is in the car with his girlfriend. Of course, they're arguing about yogurt, which has no bearing on anything else that happens later.
Right.
And George ran over pigeons.
That's the beauty of this. They cram in like 8 other jokes within the thing.
And now Jerry is in an apartment with his girlfriend, and he's just spotted
Toys.
this massive toy collection.
She inherited toys, and Jerry wants to play with them. There's a lot of funny little parallel
And
jokes
she's just
that go
about
on.
to give a description, I think, of her father or somebody that donated it to him after their death, and Jerry just interrupted her
Yeah.
to play with the toy.
They're priceless.
They've never been played with before.
But barring Jerry Seinfeld's acting, the people, the way they do their reactionary acting, like Craig mentioned, is amazing. Because you don't catch anybody mouthing somebody else's lines. You don't catch anybody off their mark very often. It's amazing. Now here's the other storyline. Elaine's at the
She's at her workplace,
yeah.
and this storyline involves a new guy that just started working there, Lou Filerman, who just pops up in the middle of nowhere when their back's turned, and then all of a sudden disappears.
Right. So he's a sidler. He just sidles up to you and takes the credit. Oh, George and Jerry and Elaine and Kramer and everybody. What's the deal with sidling? You can't sidle somebody without... Okay.
Now Jerry and George are in the diner, and George is complaining about how
The pigeons broke the deal. They defecate on the Statue of Liberty. We look the other way. They get out of our way of our cars or something like that. Oh, the sex is wild, but she got this incredible toy collection.
and she won't let me near it.
I don't understand women. Here comes one. There's Elaine. Classic. Art Garfunkel? No, Castro. That's so stupid.
You've
The
pretty much
stain on
said
her
it down.
Yeah, I know. The stain on her jacket that looks like something. Man, these guys, they just nitpick, and that's the show. I love it.
It's like it's
That's
not.
why we like the show.
It's
God.
like it's not really a show about anything. In a
Oh
way.
my god, dude. Sing that song from Lion King. Hakuna Matata?
You know what I'm realizing?
That
This,
doesn't make it right. Sorry.
this show is a weird show to do a commentary on, because you realize that a
They're
bunch of the
doing
different.
commentary on life.
Yeah,
yeah.
we're doing commentary on commentary.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, so now
Kramer storyline back. He's got the Merv Griffin Show set up in his apartment.
the awesome part is this an exact, perfect replica of the Merv Griffin Show set.
Yeah, dude. Which is awesome. It's awesome to think that, like, it probably just really is it, maybe? That it just is probably...
It's not. I remember
Are you
reading.
sure?
Yeah,
Oh.
I remember reading that about.
It's not it? That's
No.
weird. You'd
It's
think it
a
would be.
recreation of the set. I mean, if you look at it, it's not a very complicated set, really. But.
Sure. But yeah, this
He
is
said
kind
one of my favorite lines in this episode was just said,
Mm-hmm.
when Jerry's looking at the set, taking up the whole apartment, and Jerry just said, "Well, where do you sleep?" And Kramer just really quickly says, "Oh yeah, backstage."
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Just the way it's said, and then they quickly move on to the next one.
Yeah, man. And at the time of this, what, 98, 99, whatever.
Yeah, like 98.
They George runs and jumps on some pigeons now. It was fun because to have Kramer being like acting like he's looking at a camera on a mark different from the actual camera in the show is funny because it really like heavily leans on the acting. And like and they did it in the 90s in a time when meta wasn't being thrown around so much. And they got away with it. They were like, it's a show within a show after we had already pitched a show about nothing. So whatever. It's good quality show. And then, so now the rest of the episode gets very cleverly narrated by Kramer inadvertently. He's just like now kind of almost shining a little bit of light on maybe the silliness of their plot, because now he's describing what Jerry's situation is as he has Jerry on as a quote guest on the Merv Griffin Show.
It's
so
awesome that even though the guest, like Jerry's currently sitting down on the set with Kramer, and now Elaine just popped in. Even though they find the stuff that Kramer's doing kind of strange, they're still willing to sit there.
Yeah, they just go with
tell
it.
the story in the chair and just roll with it. And that makes it awesome, because if they spent the whole time going, what are we doing here? This is weird. That would take away from it.
And I love it. The reason that they don't take the time to do that is because they're
so
just want to talk at each other. Yeah, they just
they're so self-absorbed.
I'll tell you, this sidling guy's really chapping my hide. Kramer, what's wrong with you? They question it like once, and he just keeps moving. What do you mean? You're looking at no.
Kramer's actually doing the thing that Merv Griffin used to do, where he would touch the top of his tie and stuff when he'd be a little confused. Like
that's awesome.
Have all kinds of subtle nods to Merv Griffin in the whole episode.
You stomp around like a Clydesdale. I forgot that was in this episode. That makes sense.
Oh, that's right.
Dude, that's like my most remembered line from this whole show. I don't know why. It's not that important. It just always rings in my head.
It's really specific.
Yeah.
Maybe that's probably why.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's our good friend George Costanza.
So George just popped in, and he's looking incredulously at the whole set.
The makeshiftness of this entire idea is fun too. That he has that little tape recorder,
right?
And it even has the dude on it telling him to turn the music off for some reason, whatever that is.
There's a little tape recorder that plays the theme song and entrance music for whenever someone comes in and pops onto the set.
Now, when that voice was on the tape saying "turn music off," what's the idea there?
Oh, like who made that tape? Or?
Yeah, what's the joke there? Why is there a voice that says "turn music off" on the tape?
I don't think it's anything more than. I don't think it means it.
Do you think it's like a place marker in the cassette where like they've gone too far and it's a voice telling them it's about to end?
No, it's just telling Kramer. It's just a sign that Kramer. It's just a way to tell Kramer exactly when to turn off.
Okay, so it wasn't
something as simple as that.
Yeah, you're right. It's not like I'm thinking of it in terms of
this is actually one of the best scenes in the whole movie.
He drinks that
in the
Diet
middle
Cola.
of the conversation. Kramer takes a commercial break, playing a commercial song, sits back and sips a Diet Coke and eats some snacks, while the three of them just kind of look at him like, "What the hell are you doing?"
Which is awesome. I'm thinking of it like that cassette tape is something he acquired from the dumpster. Not true.
No, I think it's in terms
funny.
of he made it like he almost
made
it
his little thing. Yeah, but it's not his voice. But whatever. Yeah,
that's true. It isn't his.
Yeah,
voice.
That's why I always thought I associated the cassette with the dumpster. Yeah. But you know what I thought? I thought that it was like a stage, like a real stage music on a cassette of some sort. That I was always analyzing why the voice would be heard on the same tape.
Well, I know it is.
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
It's the actual Merv Griffin Show music.
Right, of course.
So now Jerry's back in an apartment with his girlfriend. She just wants to snuggle up with him, but he only has eyes for the toys! And now they're having a fight because Jay wants to play with the toys! That's my Jay Seinfeld impression. Thank you. Thank you.
Will not cause drowsiness. May cause drowsiness.
So now, one of the most actual sinister subplots of this entire series, Jerry decides to go into her medicine cabinet and drug her.
Yes.
Think about how kind of fucked up that the whole thing is.
Yes. Yeah.
This actually would catch a lot of flack nowadays if they put this on a sitcom episode showing someone drugging someone else in an episode like that.
Right.
That would be actually a little risque, which is kind of funny.
Julie Louis-Dreyfus, in one of the commentary reviews, I think on season 9 DVD, mentions whenever they had dealt with abortion on a certain episode.
Yeah.
She just mentions how that could not have been done then/now as well. I think the commentary was done in the early 2000s, but still, something that maybe wouldn't in the same light be. Craig and I can safely say that it wouldn't be presented in the same light on a sitcom these days, which is weird.
They couldn't be so blunt about it, so
Right.
frank about it.
Okay,
Hi.
so we paused because there was a commercial, but it should time out right. They're at the doctor.
George is at the doctor with his girlfriend. He's trying to, what are they trying to do?
The squirrel. He hit a squirrel, and it's going
amazing
to
how
cost
the
a
other-
lot of money to
The
like.
subplots of this skit are so unimportant, actually.
They do seem like that now, especially compared to the main.
It's just all about them talking about whatever they want to talk about while they're on the Merv Griffin set. That's what's actually funny.
They could have done the whole thing there and gotten away with it, I believe. If only they hadn't had to allow time to change guests and have happenstance things happen where they bring Newman on and stuff like that.
Right.
That's all right for him. Oh, do you have something else?
No. Otto's just shooting up.
Oh, I didn't know that would.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I had no idea that would actually crumble under his teeth. Our dogs are in the background. Sorry, guys. I understand there's a lady in your life. Well, it's kind of funny because she has this amazing toy collection, and last night we were going to play with them.
And now another highlight of the show is when Newman pops in to sit next to Kramer as a sidekick.
I gave her the wrong kind of medicine.
And I guess she passed out.
So George wants Jerry to get him over there.
And now Kramer said, "You mean that you drugged a woman so that you could take advantage of playing with her toys?"
Double meaning.
So actually he takes a commercial break and now he's
Scolding
Kramer
Jerry.
is scolding Jerry for playing with her toys and saying, "Now what you do in your personal life is what you do on your time." But
For people that really do listen to Nursery, Michael Richards is looming large in this episode as he did in UHF. Like, for some reason or another, he just steals the show wherever he goes. I don't know why. Obviously, most people in the world have seen Seinfeld that plug into entertainment like this podcast, but there's something about him, man. Everything he does is just kind of electric.
he knows how to. I think he knows how to fully becomes the character in a way that, like, even when the focus isn't on him, when someone else is talking and the dialogue is focused on a different person, just the way he's even reacting to them, his facial expression and his movements, then he's still 100% completely that character at every single given moment. And a lot of time when you see other characters not delivering their dialogue and they're just a bystander, they, in a sense, almost kind of step out of the character somewhat, and they're just standing there, not even really fully present. But he's always fully present, no matter what.
And, like, obviously Jerry himself has disclaimed his own acting chops, but Jerry, since he plays himself, kind of gets a pass. But Jerry, a lot of times, especially starting in season 8, or actually, let's say 7, you see him start to really get outside of himself in the middle of somebody else's line.
Yeah.
And that
True.
that doesn't take too much away. Right now, they're feeding turkey and wine to Jerry's
I
girlfriend.
think this episode helped fuel the myth that if you eat a lot of turkey, which has tryptophan, that it makes you really sleepy, when that's actually not really.
Oh, that's not a real thing?
Yeah, the tryptophan thing that's in turkey is very much a myth. You'd have to.
No way.
Oh yeah,
I didn't know that.
completely.
Interesting.
Completely. You just people feel sleepy on
they ate
Thanksgiving,
a
not
lot.
from turkey, because they just ate a shit ton of.
Sure. Okay, so they're shutting down the Merv Griffin Show to retool. Another line I kind of like in this is that dude, when Elaine keeps confronting the Tic Tac guy at the office, she's like, "Something bothers me about you." He's like, "Is it my dead tooth?" And she's like, "No."
I forgot about that.
But yeah, but Craig and I, listeners, we kind of lived and breathed by Seinfeld when we were younger, and we talked about it a lot when we were in like school. And in 1999, I believe I was in 9th grade or so with him. 98, 99, 9th grade, I believe.
98, 99 was our freshman year.
Yeah. So Craig and I called each other on landlines back and forth during the last episode of Seinfeld when it aired for the first time. And we were like, dude, did you see it? Did you see it? And I did this thing where I got on my bike because I was like, hey, we should be watching this together. I got on my bike and flew down the hill about a mile, less than a mile, to Craig's house. And I got there, and Craig, and I had missed the plane scene. I missed completely.
Oh, that's right.
And the weirdest thing is that I've barely seen it. Even after all these years, I've still barely seen that scene. Like, it's funny to think that just because I rode my bike there, that doesn't have any influence on me. When I know a lot of people don't like the finale, but you know, that was kind of a highlight of it, where Elaine almost says she loves Jerry and stuff, and
right.
Jerry almost says, and I've seen that like less than one time. Like, I feel like I've seen it a half a time. But anyways, that's something that's weird about it, is that like Craig and I actually talked a lot about Seinfeld when we were younger and like paid attention to it. And we're old enough to have like watched a lot of it as it was premiering and stuff like that. Not the first episode, we were a bit too young for that, but soon after. So back to the episode, George is getting screwed by the price. We just
saw this scene where George was actually in the room at the veterinary office with the squirrel that he hurt, and his girlfriend wants him to help tend.
Which really is.
That's actually one of the other.
Oh my god!
It isn't significant, but it is one of the funnier scenes where he's just in there for 10 seconds with the squirrel and just looks at it and he's like, "So,
oh yeah, you're right.
Hey, squirrel."
Is that what he says?
Yeah.
Weird.
So good. Because he's just so clearly annoyed and exasperated by the fact that he's got to be in there with the freaking squirrel.
See, that all this episode does is make me think of other episodes as well, because George just, oh man, Jason Alexander overall, dude, I think the beginning of season 8, the Summer of George, am I getting that season right?
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude, that was the best, dude. He's just like, I'm eating a wheel of cheese and wearing all, whatever, sweatpants or whatever he said.
So now it's devolved into...
They just like, she's knocked out immediately, and they're all... Like, Elaine, George, and
everyone
Jerry
but Kramer is now at the girlfriend's apartment playing with the toys and watching TV. They really couldn't show that. They would catch a lot of flack for that now.
Yeah, at least in the same light. I think somebody could get away with it if they wrote it different and wrote a bunch of disclaimers.
They'd have to focus on the fact that,
right.
like one of them would have to
Disclaimers.
say, "I can't believe that you're drugging them." Just the fact that
They'd
so
have to be that-
nonchalantly
yeah.
drugged her and no one cares.
The
that's never addressed.
The Kramer of this episode would have to like again and again be like, that's not cool, guys. Like way more than Kramer has. Kramer barely says it. He says that this part coming up, but he's not one of those guys who's like, not okay. There's kind of like that token guy in sitcoms now. He's just like, not okay. And like, I sound a little bit like begrudging when I say that, but I understand. That, like, the sense of humor of our culture has shifted a bit. And for good reason, man. Our country's weird. Is that confounded Tic Tac? That's bad voodoo. I'm Elaine's boss, and I'm very charismatic. I have a funny voice. I can't really do his voice, but I never that guy. Really, almost never has made me laugh. I want to say that.
This guy?
No, the boss. He's an idiot.
Peterman?
Yeah, who cares about him?
He's kind of funny.
They wedged him in there. They just wedged that character in. I don't know.
But he's funny because
I don't know.
Because he does a great deadpan. It's not so much when he acts really weird. That can get kind of stupid. Right. It's when he just nonchalantly said something to piss Elaine off.
Which happens very rarely, though. Like,
I guess. That
guy belongs in a show like Harvey Birdman, not on Seinfeld. Like, he's kind of, how Stephen Colbert did have you watched Harvey Birdman way back?
Uh-huh.
You know how Colbert did the voice of the boss of the patch?
Right.
He's like, ha, Harvey, come on in here. He's like, I'm a guy from the 50s, like that on Seinfeld. Kind of funny. But same with that stupid Bookman guy. You checked out a book a lot late.
Yeah,
It's like, just
a
slow
little
down.
over the top.
Slow
Not
down.
too much.
You know, Newman's got the timing. Kramer's got the timing. Bookman, come on now. Take it down a notch.
Not
Okay.
everyone is on the set of the Merv Griffin Show, and
Including...
Kramer has orchestrated a meetup with Jerry and his girlfriend. He did one of those, well, have we got a surprise for you?
Yeah.
Celia, come on out.
Who drinks an entire box of wine? And then who they have on here? Jack Fowler. He has a real guest.
Yeah.
And now this is the weakest part of the show. Still funny, but the weakest part of the entire show.
The ending is very...
Yeah, very weak.
So
George-
the ending just involves the Jack Fowler has an eagle, or a hawk, on the episode, and George pops in with the squirrel, and the hawk just flies over towards George, and it does a shot of George putting his hands in front of his face.
And it pauses.
And one of the most amazing Seinfeld episodes ends in a terrible way. Actually, a lot of the Seinfeld episodes do kind of end terribly.
let's take it up a notch above and say a lot of all episodes ever.
True.
You know, of all shows.
And that's just
And
because
we-
there's no good way to end a comedy in a it's really difficult to end a comedy in a strong comedic manner. It's
So-
not a good way to do it.
So, listeners, if you followed along with us, we appreciate it. If you had listened to the UHF and nostalgia episode, Derek and I have the same reaction to the ending of UHF because it's so weak, it's unreal. It ends with a
I'm not even remembering the ending.
you don't remember the ending, man. It ends with
Okay, I won't.
like a horrible reference to who's Gone with the Wind reference. It's like a Gone with the Wind reference. And it's like
Frankly,
they
I
just
don't give a damn or something.
Yeah, but no, it's like one of those things where they're just like, they're just like, tomorrow is another day. It's that line.
Oh yeah,
That kind of stuff. Yeah,
I completely forgot about that.
yeah. So
Kramer
if
was talking
listeners,
about how his
yeah.
set was destroyed in their last situation, and then makes a statement that he's going to create his own talk show set.
right,
And George and Jerry just kind of look at him like,
right.
oh, okay,
And if
that makes sense.
if you happen to not to have been following in the credits just moments ago, and then we have no deal with them, no deal. And then of course Elaine had been giving more turkey to.
That's so stupid. Oh fuck! I forgot about this ending.
Oh my god.
That's really that whole drugging of her is so twisted.
Yeah, man.
I mean, it's not twisted. I could care less. It's funny, but my God, they could not do that now.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That is not okay, guys. That is not okay. Am I wrong in imagining that? Like, to me, there's like a young guy, like younger than you and me, who is like that guy in sitcoms now. I'm not saying that's his whole job, but How I Met Your Mother, people like that.
His
Like,
response
oh, that
is
is not
to
PC.
admonish
That is
everyone
not
to try.
PC. Yeah.
And I can't believe you just did that.
Right. But, you know, that's within the realm of comedy only. Obviously, there are these insanely dark, twisted dramas on TV right now, and they're unreal.
But they're dramas, though. So
Right. No,
it's different.
Different, but it's weird.
Thank God. Dramas are so much better now
They are.
as a result.
Yeah.
This is the golden age of television, my friend.
Yeah.
A golden age of TV, especially for dramas. Comedies too, I guess, but especially for dramas.
Dramas are kind of going in a new direction, whereas comedies right now are rehashing a little, in a good way, but comedies are kind of going back to their roots and completely, use Kramer's term, retooling like an old show.
They're almost reverting back a bit to the old three-wall, multi-camera, live, even sometimes live audience type format.
That's what people want in that right now, but yeah, dramas are kind of like taking on these like heavy stories in these like more particular settings and stuff like that. It's kind of neat, and maybe taking on more historical context than ever before too. In some cases, like certain things like the Kennedy thing that's starting up on Hulu and that kind of all that stuff. The Kennedy assassination thing.
I'm not even aware of that.
Yeah, there's a thing happening right now. James Franco is part of it. But anyways, guys, thanks for listening.
Thanks, guys and gals.
If you guys like the commentaries, or if you prefer the ones where we just do loose conversation, let us know. Go to thirdclass.net or bullskit.com and find our email, and email us and let us know if there's a show you'd like to hear us do commentary for. Maybe we could hook that up for you and like maybe have our own reaction to something that maybe we haven't even seen before. Give us something obscure. We don't care. Like, this is just a weird little podcast.
Even if it's of a crappy, even if it's a show that you might think isn't even really worthy of being reviewed,
but you want to hear us rip on it or something.
Yeah, that would be potentially entertaining too, or not. Or you can let us know that this whole concept of reviewing an
if you don't like it
during the podcast, let us know that too. We're not going to listen to what you have to say, but it'll be an interesting. Be interesting just to hear your stupid thoughts.
Yep. Good dog. He finally rang the bell.
Did he ring the bell?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't even hear it.
Go outside, Otto.
It didn't happen.
Jeremy. All right, guys. Signing off from
Thanks, guys.
Nursery. I'm Lee Boyle.
I'm Pegasus O'Malley, otherwise known as Craig Bait.
And I'm Lee Boyle.
And I'm Craig Bait.
And I'm Lee.
And I'm Craig.
And back to you, Craig.
And back to you.
And we're going to play some ping pong here and throw it over to Craig now.
Looks like I received something. I'm going to go ahead and send it right back at you, see how you're going to respond.
Okay, actually, we have something coming in here. A word on the street from Craig Bait. Is it Craig? Craig, go ahead, man.
Thank you, Lee. Let me see what this message was. Oh, it says, back to you.
Oh, great. Yeah, I'm glad you delivered that. See, I actually have some breaking news that you have to deliver real quick.
Oh, thank you, Lee, for that very informative piece of...
And let me just tell you guys, I just want to say good night real quick because everybody is just...
And that will conclude the podcast for this evening. I'm Craig Bait.
I will have the last word. Here's my last word. This is my last word. Last word. And
the
here.
podcast
and we
will
we good?
end now.
We done? We cut transmission? We
Done.
end transmission.
And
transmission. End transmission.
And
End transmission.
And
And back to you. Good night.
Let's cue the... we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
We will be right back. Three, two, one, go. Go. Thanks for listening to Nursery, a podcast from Ohio's creative voice. I'm your host, Lee Boyle. We are sponsored by the Speaking of Music show at YouTube. This is a podcast that delves into the music of yesterday and today. Check them out. We are also sponsored by the Orange Avocado. Check them out on Facebook. They have raw, vegan, gluten-free desserts, and they also are starting to do some cold-pressed fruit juice drinks. So stay tuned to that. Make sure you go to thirdclass.net. Check out my music with my band Third Class. Buy a record, buy a t-shirt, donate some money. And then if you want to laugh, go to bullskit.com and check out Bullskit Productions, my comedy troupe. We don't go do live shows, but we have a bunch of online YouTube comedy skits that you'll probably appreciate. You'll find one that you like, if not more. So make sure you do that. And if you yourself would like to sponsor an episode of Nursery or more episodes than just one, make sure you email me at chlograve@gmail.com, CHLOEGRAVE@gmail.com, or just go to thirdclass.net and go to the contact form there and find us. Thanks again for listening.